Hello, I'm Skulbogi here with Justice Torres ahead of his featherweight title fight with Fury FC against Yair Del Valle. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Just got off work, heading into the gym, about to go grind.
And how are you feeling ahead of this fight?
I feel confident. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. The date got pushed back 2 weeks, so that means just a little extra more time to train. Nothing crazy.
And this is your first title fight as a professional. Did that add
Yes.
any more pressure onto this?
No, I wouldn't say as pressure, but it's more. I mean, it's just exciting overall. As overall as an experience. I saw Michael gaining his title. That was motivation, like motivation watching that. And then years ago, whenever I saw Leo Mana get his title, that was where the dream started. I wanted one after that.
Exactly. And obviously, it's with Fury FC, which is a big name in the regional scene. It has brought lots of fighters from the regional to the UFC. Is that one of the
Hmm.
main reasons you stick with Fury for your entire career?
No, no, I stuck with Fury just for the simple fact that Eric is he's a good promoter. That's the one thing that like in the fight game, you got promoters that don't care about their fighters or don't want to take care of them, but he's always taken care of me. He's always been good to me, so I have no complaints. So I'm always gonna stay with Eric.
And this is your third fight of the year. Both your previous two fights have been wins. Do you like this win, get a fight, win, get another fight? This activity.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? It got a little staticky.
So this is your third fight of the year. Do you like
Hmm.
getting these lots of fights throughout the year?
Yeah, no, I like to stay active. I don't like to be sitting around. So the more active, the better.
And obviously, you have got an impressive record. It is 9-2. Do you feel like with a win here, that cements your position that you should be at that next level in the UFC?
Definitely, definitely. I think with a good performance against Yadier, because he's a tough guy, he has a good record. I think yeah, I get pushed to that next level.
And was there any part of you that was surprised that you weren't given a call up to the contender series this year?
No, not necessarily, because actually, come last this past Wednesday, they called me for a short notice to go against that Austin Bashi kid, but I wasn't able to do it just to certain circumstances. But they offered it to me. Now, as far as like an official spot, I was a little bummed out, but I knew the game plan from the jump, is just keep grinding. So get the belt, and then they can't deny me.
Exactly. And how does it feel knowing that they did want you to be called up to the contender series? Does that make you know that you are just needing that one win to get you just over the line?
Exactly. No, it was actually super exciting. So, like I said, I was all for it. I wanted to take it. Like I said, some little small issues came up where I wasn't able to. So, lost that opportunity, but I still have a big opportunity in front of me of getting that Fury title that will push me to that level. So, I know I'm right there.
Exactly, because it is a title for a big name, and you would be taking down an undefeated, highly talked about prospect in the line. Now, with your last fight, it was against Arion Young. It was a decision victory. How do you feel that fight went?
That fight, obviously, I always want the finish, but um, I felt that fight went very well for me because most people didn't think I was gonna win. They thought he was gonna take me down, he was gonna ground and pound, or he was gonna be too big for me. That's what actually Eric thought. Eric actually told me, the promoter. He's like, I'm not gonna lie, Justice. I thought he was gonna be too big for you, and I showed that he wasn't too big at all. That I kind of just manhandled him around a little bit.
And do you feel like that's what you're going to do in this fight? Do you feel like people are just sleeping on you a bit for this fight, or do you feel like this is a bit more in your favor now that you were able to prove yourself in that last fight?
Um, well, I wouldn't say I didn't get to prove myself in my last fight, but I will say that, yeah, I do think people are always going to overlook me. I feel like I'm going to be that fighter that gets overlooked, and then I have to just keep reminding people. So me taking out Yadier, I'm always going to come forward, always going to try and look for the finish. So I know his style is going to be to take me down. My style is to stay up and keep it on the feet, and I think that just gives me more opportunity to yeah, just keep showing everybody that like I'm not just some regular 145er. Like I'm gonna be great.
And do you feel like that last fight helped you with this fight? Because, like you're saying, you feel like he's just going to take you down. Do you feel like that last fight, like it was
Yes.
a bit of same?
I Yeah, no, yeah, I think it's gonna. I think that fight was definitely a lot of help. I mean, even the fight before that, that guy that I fought, Joel Maddock, he was a wrestler, and then finally the first round, he was taking me down for a second. I'd have to get back up. He'd take me down. So then finally we were like, you know what? You put it on the wrestler, and I started taking him down, and then I started taking him down and ground and pound, and then same thing with AY. He was a little bit difficult to deal with because he was long. So whenever he was going for like the takedowns and stuff, he was shooting from far out and still able to reach me. But Yadier, I watched him fight Michael, and you know, I believe that I'm going to be able to stop all his takedowns, and I'm going to be able to keep the fight where I want it.
And do you feel like that just shows how good you are? Because, like you're saying, you want to keep the fight on the feet, and you're being able to still go against these wrestlers who are looking to take you down. You're able to stop their game and implement your own.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's gonna. I don't see. I see. I mean, obviously, at first, the first round, he's going to be strong. He's going to be explosive. So I think after that first round, the those first exchanges, he's going to realize that like I'm not going to be easy to take down, and it's going to change the tide of the fight.
Now, you did suffer back to back defeats, first one against Matt Jones, the next to Pena. Now, once you did suffer that second defeat, was there any part of you that just thought about giving up, or did you feel like you wanted to come back and you were going to be stronger?
No, I mean, I don't make excuses for my losses. At the end of the day, I didn't show up. I didn't get the job done, so I can't sit here and point fingers or anything like that. The only thing it did was just I just knew I needed to dial in even more, and not necessarily. Like, I didn't take them lightly, but you know, just be a little bit smarter with when I'm going to take the fight, because the Pena Alama fight that was basically like a short notice because the guy that I was originally supposed to fight pulled out, and then we moved up a weight class to 155. So that was that. And then after the Matt Jones fight, prior to that I had my appendix removed, and then the moment I was cleared to start training, I guess hurried and took the fight. So it's just really just now it's about being smarter and knowing when to go and when not to go.
Now, Fury FC did put a post on their Twitter a few days ago, just saying how they had 10 fighters going from the Fury SC to the Contender Series. However, they only announced six of the names. Do you feel like having all those fighters being able to move from Fury to the Contender Series just shows you how good and how tough these guys are?
Yeah, no, Fury definitely is going to be the best promotion that anybody could fight for. They have the deepest roster with the best talent, so it's not like fighting for a smaller organization where yeah, you may be whooping all these guys, but they're obviously not the most talented. Whenever you fight
Yeah.
Fury and you're going 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, that and you're fighting high quality opponents, and like I said, Eric will get you where you need to be and get you tested. He won't just sex your first fight with a killer. He'll give you somebody that's equal, like same experience as you, and then he'll just slowly, ease you up, and then boom, boom, boom. So it really, it's a good promotion.
And do you feel like that is the reason why a lot of these fighters they do start off in the amateur scene with Fury and then they move from that Fury amateur scene to the pro scene and they stick with Fury? I know you were one of those guys who did start off as an amateur in Fury. You had some fights with them, and then as a pro, you have stayed with Fury and been with them.
Yeah, like I said, it all goes back to like I said with Eric and just the Fury organization overall. Everyone's good to you there. So when you start with them as an amateur, I mean, as far as an amateur, you want to take fights wherever you can go.
Yeah,
But as long as healthy as you are, Eric will keep you fighting. So I mean, if he's doing that, I don't see the point of going anywhere else. It's as far as like production value and everything else, there's no one else really competing with him. Like maybe LFA or something, but as far as like just these other organizations, like he's got the best. So whenever you're an amateur to get the fight for Fury, it's really an honor. And then as far as going pro, you hope to get that little fight contract that he'll send you for a 3-fight deal, 4-fight deal, whatever it may be, and it's exciting. Because I remember whenever I first got it, he sent me my first contract, and it was a 4-fight deal, and I was like, hell yeah, dude, I can sign with Fury for 4 fights. Let's go.
And obviously, if you do win the title, have is there a date in mind where you are looking to defend that title, or are you just going to take a wee bit time, see if the UFC does call you up, and then make your next move?
If for the sake of this question, let's just say I win the title and like expect just like how Michael did, right? Unscathed, no issues. Um, I would hope that I would get the call right away because there's that card that's actually on October 19th, and I would love to fight on that card, man. I just keep telling myself like, let's just start you out a year and then speak it into existence, and we get to fight on October 19th on that UFC card. But uh, but if not, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
And also, when you get to the UFC, is there anyone you're wanting to face off against first, or are you just welcoming the challenge?
I'm sorry. The only thing I caught at the end was when you get to the UFC, anyone you want to face. Was that the question though, overall, or was there more to it?
Yeah, who are you wanting to face when you get into the UFC? Anyone you want to welcome you into the rankings?
I mean, I was actually just watching the Chael Sonnen and DC, the good guy bad guy talk, and DC was just saying whenever you get there, you need to be able to make these call outs whenever you've had 3 in a row, 4 in a row wins in the UFC. I haven't made any. I'm not in the UFC yet, so as far as like having my eye on anybody specific, no, I haven't even thought about that yet. Now who I would love to like a dream fight to fight against is obviously like the greats. I'd love to fight against Volkanovski or Max Holloway. Those would be just to share the octagon. That'd be amazing.
And how did you start to get into the octagon? What's your story?
Well, I've always played contact sports. I used to play football, realized very quickly I wasn't going to the league. I'm not that big, so I'm not going to be playing in the NFL. I started playing rugby, and whenever I was playing rugby, I actually blew my shoulder. I had to get surgery on my shoulder and tore up my rotator cuff and had a slap tear. So I had to have surgery on my shoulder. And whenever that came about, I wasn't able to play rugby anymore for a while. And I've always been a fighter. Like I've always fought as a kid. I've always fought in school. Like just loved fighting. And so I actually looked up just local gyms around me. And so whenever that happened, after that, it was just the rest is history. Just I got to a gym and just couldn't stop going.
And what has been your trickiest fight to date?
Trickiest fight to date. So I guess you could say there's two. Um, as far as what do you say, skill wise, the hardest person I've ever had to go against was Keola Mahula. He actually just fought. He took a short notice at 155 and knocked the guy out. Looked amazing, but his movement was so unorthodox. He was all over the place, and that was the first time I've ever actually been rocked in a fight. I've never even like been rocked at all, and he caught me with some stuff, and they actually rocked me. And as far as like just mentally being ready for a fight, it was whenever I fought Cyron Harrison because I actually my mother-in-law passed away prior to that, and she was always like the one person I looked forward to seeing whenever the fight happened. So going into there, I was not mentally ready, and that fight was just that was so hard to get through and like just stressful and stuff. So that one was one of the toughest ones.
And has there ever been anything in that octagon that a fighter's done that has surprised you? I know some fighters like to talk smack in the octagon while you are fighting. Has that ever happened to you?
No, no one talks. No one ever talks. They're pretty quiet. If anything, I feel like I'm the one that gets more comfortable and wants to start talking, but I choose to just keep my thoughts to myself. But but yeah, no, surprising. Like I said, just the only thing that's ever like really like caught me off guard was that Keola Mahula. Whenever he would his spins, his attacks from all over the place. That was a like I said, that was the toughest thing to deal with.
And like you're saying, you have just finished work and you're heading to the gym now. How do you make that balance between the work and the gym?
Man, it's just a constant grind. You gotta when you have a family, you have kids, you gotta feed you. You just gotta do it. Like I yesterday I picked my kids up from daycare, and I showed up straight to the gym. I was probably like 25 minutes late, and you just do like a quick little stretch, like 4 minutes maybe, and then boom, you hop right in and grind. And my kids are right there with me. They love showing it, like they love going and watching. Uh, my oldest Dominic, he actually went with me this past Saturday. I posted it on my Instagram, and he was doing the workout right there with us. He grabbed it, he went and got his own weights, and he started doing the reps, and then we put the rubber band the bands around our waist, and we were doing sprints. He had someone holding for him, and he was doing them. So seeing how the work ethic that I have pushes over to my kids is really motivating. So that's what kind of makes it all possible.
I was about to say that. Do you feel like having that support from your kids, obviously they're happy to do the workouts with you, pushes you further, even further?
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And also too, though, it's like to my wife, she without her, this none of this would really be possible either, because she's helped me so much throughout all of it. She helps me whenever I'm like cutting weight, and then like I said with the kids. So when there's times that I'm not able to get to the to daycare and like actually be able to train, she'll be able to watch the kids. So it's been a big help. She's always been a big help.
Well, that sounds good, and I know you're going to get that victory and get that belt, and hopefully get that
But yeah.
UFC contract after that. I'll let you have the final word. Anything you're wanting to say, or anyone you're wanting to shout out?
Man, give shout out to everybody at 4 ounce, all the way from all the coaches, Frank, Daniel, Chico, Joseph, and all my training partners, Hector Signs. That man, he's been pushing me, and just everybody. Shout out to my family, my friends' family, Aces Performance. My sponsors, Swig to Go, Fuller Express, all of them. Just without everybody that I'm mentioning right now, none of this would be possible at all.
Well, that sounds great. Can't wait to watch your fight.